So when we got back from Finchingfield on Saturday, we wanted to do some filming of the bike, just, you know, for some B-roll sort of stuff. So we started the bike, and let me show you what happened. And this was a sound we were unfortunately familiar with, because this was the second time that it had happened to us. Taking it to a mechanic, we changed the battery, we changed the alternator, we changed the starter motor, and we thought, right, now we're safe, we can take the journey. And it was over an hour that it took us to get there and an hour back, but we were quite confident because we'd taken the bike to the mechanic. We thought we'd be okay, and we were lucky that we made it back. So if we were stuck in Finchingfield, I don't know what we would have done. So we've got a new battery, and we're going to fit it to the bike to see if we can start it to at least get it to a mechanic. So the issues that we've been having, so initially we started the bike absolutely fine from when we bought it, and a couple of weeks later, after a few trips, we experienced a problem where it did not start. We had a clicking noise, and the electrics were doing some strange things on the dials. We initially checked the battery, saw that it was fine, so we thought it must be the starter motor. Bought a new starter motor, we replaced the starter motor ourselves, and we started once and still nothing. And then we found out the battery was dead. So we bought a second battery. First one wasn't charging. Bought the second battery, same thing happened again. So it obviously wasn't the starter motor, and it was a brand new battery, so we therefore thought it must be the alternator. At this point, we weren't feeling confident with the bike, and we thought, do you know what, let's take it to a mechanic, get them to give it the once over, sort everything out, and then we feel like we're not going to get abandoned by it. We're not going to get stuck anywhere. So that's what we did, and we've not had any issues. Alan mentioned there's been a kind of a gap between starting, when he's starting it and when it kind of gets going. So I told him not to worry, because as I said, we've taken it to the mechanic. It's probably just, you know, obviously it was an issue. So we are now at the stage where this one won't charge either. So the bike is not charging the batteries. So we've bought the new battery because we're going to need this to get it somewhere to a mechanic. Whether we're going to take it back to the same mechanic or not, I don't know. So we're going to unbox the battery, we're going to fit it, and see if we can start it. Okay, so as I said, we got a slightly different one this time. It's the 240 amp one rather than the 200 that we got last time. Just because we thought this might help us a little bit if we're having issues. I believe the performance is meant to be slightly better. Box of the battery fluid, so I believe it's pre-filled. We've got the battery itself. I mean, I'm not very strong. I can definitely notice the difference in the weight. Probably doesn't help that this one's not charged. It's got some screws with it. Ooh, got some screws with it. So we bought both the batteries from Taina, or Taina, however you say it. This one, this standard one, cost us £58 delivered. This one was around £80 delivered. We tried to get some batteries from dealerships and from mechanics, and we found them a lot more expensive, so that is why we went online. The first job, now we've got the battery, is going to be to charge it, and I'll show you what we use to charge our batteries. So we've done this with every battery. Before we're putting it in the bike, we're charging it overnight. So we've been using the C-Tech XS 0.8. We've used this to charge the battery. You can also use this to keep your battery charged if you're not using it over winter or you're going to be away for a few months. Just plug it in, connect it whilst it's still in the bike, and then you're not going to have an unsuspected surprise when you come back to your bike. We're going to plug this in now, leave it overnight, and then we're going to get the battery into the bike, see if we can get it to a mechanic.
So we had the battery charged overnight, and then we decided to fit it. We know we don't need to charge the battery, but we thought it's not going to hurt. The battery, though noticeably it didn't seem larger, we struggled to get it to fit in. We did get there in the end. We don't know actually if it is any larger, but it seemed larger when we were trying to get it in. We're quite familiar with changing these batteries now because, like I said, we've had this issue a few times before. So our next step will be getting it to a garage to see if they can help us. Like I said, we think it's the relay. Let us know in the comments down below what you might think it is. We're taking a trip to Milan next month, so let me know in the comments as well if you can guess why we're going. We really appreciate everyone that's subscribed so far. If you're not subscribed at the moment, please do, and you can see what we get up to in Milan.